That was Christmas in a chord progression that was so theatrical, and I loved it. I didn't know I needed this. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jennifer Glatzhofer, but you could call me Jen. I am a musical theatre performer and a voice teacher. And today I will be returning back to David Phelps. It's been a little bit of a while. It's been a few months. Previously reacted to and broke down his performance of Oh Holy Night this past Christmas, but today I will be looking at I Have Nothing. A lot of you did recommend it to me, so here we are. As always, this will be a reaction and an analysis video, so I will be stopping and talking about the vocals. That's what I like to do over here. If you feel like I end up stopping and talking too much, then I have left the link to the original video in the description below, so do go and check that out. If you do enjoy what I'm doing over here and learn a thing or two along the way, then please do consider checking me out over on Patreon. Your support means so much to me, and thank you to those of you who are there already. And before we get to the main part of the video, if you have not yet hit that subscribe button and the bell button over here, then please do. That means a lot to me as well. Right, let's get to it. I have heard very good things.
Share my life, take me for what I am, 'cause I'll never change all my colors for you. Take my love, I'll never ask for too much, just all that you are and everything that you do.
Nice. I love cello and piano together. It's a really lovely just duo. That's great. Let's get into his vocals. So smooth. I love the connection he has with the words and the performance side of it. Like, we're feeling everything. Like, there's a very clear understanding of what he's saying, always. Like, he's making sure he gets to the end of the words, and we're feeling absolutely everything. Let's look at this placement as of the vowels that he's going to. Right at the beginning, it's very spread, so he's maintaining this kind of brighter feel. He's not, you know, these are long legato lines. Share my life, take me for what I... And there's like held out long notes. If we were to think of everything quite dark, it would make the whole piece feel dark. So I think by keeping a little bit more of a spread bass through his vowels, he's keeping it quite lifted and bright. Not letting it drag down.
Share my life, take me for what I
am. And there's a slight diminuendo on that as well. Again, just creating any sort of long phrases, so they're just creating little dynamic changes here and there as well. And it's very smooth. He is keeping it very legato, very true to the original, very smooth onto the next word. Like, it rolls off one word to the other. And there's just such great connection. There's a slight breath in the beginning as well. So the vocal fold closure isn't, you know, we aren't connecting. Oh gosh, I've done this wrong. We aren't connecting all the way. At the beginning we are, but then as we get to the ending of the phrase, kind of like a very breathy.
Take me for what I am, 'cause I'll never change all my colors for you.
And like, you get a little of the lip treble going on. He's keeping it very quite close to the front as well, not really opening too much, but we can still understand what he's saying, so really nice.
All my colors for you.
Like, it's still strong.
Take my love, I'll never ask for too much, just all that you are and everything that you do.
Notice on you do, he's you do. It's kind of keeping on that first part of the diphthong. Everything that you, is it everything that you, does he go bounce on that?
Just all that you are,
or everything.
and everything that you do.
It's so...
I don't really need to look very much further. I don't want to have to go where you don't follow. I won't hold it back again. This passion inside can't...
Right, before we get onto this beautiful build-up, I know. Listen to the build-up, Jen. There's so much to talk about. Okay, we're getting a little bit more of a vocal fold closure here. We're getting a bit more of clarity in his voice. You can feel this kind of like support level grow. Like this kind of depth to his voice now come in. There's a nice, so I don't want to have to look like we get a very, so rather than very much closer,
very much
further, sorry, we get a lovely kind of beforehand, which kind of just like leads into the word really, really nicely. Then we get a kind of vocal fry, I think that I
don't really need to look very much further. I don't want
no, actually it's quite clear. I don't want to, and notice here it's we're keeping quite open now as we're growing in volume, as we're growing in like that vocal fold closure, clarity. We're keeping a little bit more open, and just this passage is glorious.
Very much further. I
like
wanna have to go
how it matches with the
where you don't follow. I won't hold it back again. This passion inside can't run from myself. There's nowhere to hide. So don't make me close one more door. I don't wanna hurt anymore. Stay in my arms if you dare. Or must I imagine you there?
right. I mean, king of mix here. Stunning. There is so much we can hear, lots of audible kind of cries coming off of his voice at the ends of phrases. And even as he kind of like goes on to those longer notes, there's a little bit of a cry onto that as well. If we think about crying, don't worry if you don't want to. Don't think too much about it. But like, you know, when we cry, our vocal folds are increasing in their resistance. So we're growing in that strength and full vocal fold closure. So we're growing in a clear voice, clear tone, which is what we need for when we belt and when we go into our mixed belt. So remember, belting is a style, it is not a register. So as he's going into these high notes, we'll go back to see where these notes lie in his range, and what he's doing. We can hear how some are very clear in a chest voice belt, chest dominant belt. As he moves higher, it's still remaining in a chest dominant belt, but we are adding a little bit more softness to it, adding a little bit more of that mixed quality in there. This is why it's so important to, even if you want to sound, you know, and belt these notes like David Phelps is, we need to still work on our head voice because it's very much included and we can hear a ton of it here. Right, let's listen to this build up now then. So, on that F. So the beginning part of his first passage, this is where things are going to change for him from thick folds to thin folds, or our chest voice to head voice. We get that lovely break kind of moment happening. For everyone, it is a little bit different, but it happens roughly around here for lower set male voices. It's beautiful on an R vowel. A note, it's like so tense free because we are starting with a lovely straight tone and then welcoming in this vibrato. And then there's that cry that I was talking about right at the end, just to lighten that sound and kind of prepare himself for this next section, which is higher and will activate and start activating his mix.
So don't make me close one more door.
I love the stop and the close, the backing down. Right, B flat up there. Close. Can you hear how it's very chest dominant here still. There's a slight kind of ping at the back, and that's a little bit of that twang just helping him maintain, because he's holding on to, it's not like bang and then come back down. He has to have that support up there because he's holding on to it a little bit longer than usual.
Don't make me close one more door.
Nice.
I don't wanna hurt anymore.
So door and more, we get a little bit of that kind of cry come off of as well. Lovely vibrato.
I don't wanna hurt anymore. Stay in my arms.
Right, my is now C sharp. This is a completely different placement to where he's placed the B flat. See if we can, B flat, C sharp. What key are we in? Who knows? My! It's very much more leaning welcoming more of that head dominant place, softening up a lot more. And we can feel, it kind of feels very light, very, it's just so beautifully balanced, but it's way more in his mix. Still a chest dominant sound though.
I don't wanna hurt.
I love how that straight tone and then
stay in my arms if you dare. Or must I imagine you
there. He gets a little bit his shoulders going. Notice that tongue as well. It's so flat. It just where it needs to be. I mean, he's navigating this really, really lovely. I love how as well, my arms, as he goes back down to the B flat, my arms. He's getting thicker and growing in that because that's what he wants to do. And also he can bring a little bit more of that. And it just means that he's a bit more settled in and not bringing that maybe a bit more of a balanced mixed quality in there. Still so light.
Or must I imagine you there? Don't walk away from me. No, I have nothing if I don't have you.
Gosh, the dynamic choices that he's doing within this, it's so beautiful. Nothing, we're getting a nice kind of like nothing again in there. Nothing, a nice clear nothing as well, not nothing. I think we're like really kind of pronouncing that like so clear. And then if I don't have you, it's so soft. And that's why he's also bringing, this is why the mixed voice isn't just a particular point in our range. We're probably using our mixed voice a lot more than we realize. When we're softening up and we're lower down, we're bringing in that softer quality. So it's balancing out a mix. It's still very chest dominant, but we're softening up a little bit.
And nothing if I don't have you.
Ooh. That was Christmas in a chord progression. He's kind of putting it to the side here. But I love how when we started that passage, the first half of it was quite light still. As we came down, he's grabbing hold of that chest voice, really, really lovely and connected. Also, the nothings and the me just before as well, he's keeping quite on a true vowel to those sounds. Like, nothing. We could have opened up, but nothing. Yeah, up on that G sharp, and he's feeling comfortable there. Thing, which is great. There's no sign of tension. He's like navigating this stunningly.
You see through right to the heart of me.
Oh,
You break down my walls with the strength of your love.
How do you? He's like ascending on a there's a sentence beautifully, then opening up on that O vowel, just kind of calling out. It's so relaxed, so free. I'm excited by all the dynamic choices that he's throwing in there as well on like every phrase. It's not just like the same all the way throughout, but it's also not the same through a phrase and then we change here. It's like in amongst even like the words that he's changing. It's so lovely. He's maintaining quite a clear voice here, and what's also really visible, and I think it's with his hand movements that he's doing, is the energy of that sound is traveling forward. He's making sure that the energy right up until the last part of the phrase of the word is like so thought out and purposely placed where he wants to place it. It's like really magical to see.
You break down my walls with the strength of your love.
But notice la, la. He's not finishing the word love. V's are like hard anyway. For me anyway. Every voice is different. But he has walls. We did get that at the end. Just enough to make notes walls. But then la, la. Kind of like a bit more not too pointed like with the diction on that one.
The strength of your love.
But then he goes into this.
I never knew.
Yeah. was so theatrical and I loved it. He didn't growl. I don't know why I did that. Nice on a G. So again, he's past his first passage. We know the range is beautiful. Like it feels like he can go anywhere and he knows what he wants to do. And he's like, I've got this in the bag. Lovely and open. Lice.
I never knew of a love like I've known it with you. Will our memories survive one I can hold on to?
Oh, we like cross different genres there, I felt. There's a lovely kind of classical spin at the top. Oh, on a C5, I think it was.
Of a love like I've known it with you.
No. Notice, like, it's on the aval. He's keeping it open. There's heaps of twang in this as well, right? So twang being, it doesn't have to be, this is a great example of it not being a nasalized sound. Sometimes we get like, oh yeah, where does it feel? It feels like it's here. Twang and nasality are two separate things, right? Twang is around our AES, the area epiglottis sphincter is tightening, and that's why we get in this kind of bright pink, because we're essentially kind of making the space a little bit smaller so we can manage it a bit better. And it's like, that's what we're beautifully getting here. But it's really lovely and open. You know, he's not sending any of that through his nasal passage, which is more is determined by our soft palate, right? So two different things. But I mean, the freedom in this, I just want to listen to this again because it was glorious. And then that was quite classical feeling. Then towards the end of that passage, it kind of felt a little bit contemporary, a little bit lifted, very forward placed. And I mean, it was very theatrical at the beginning, which was stunning.
I never knew of a love like I've known it with you.
And then that. And then as well, a little bit of a push on the with. Back in there. There's like, it's quite jazzy now. Oh, it's like all in one. I didn't know I needed this. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's very much rehearsed, so he knows what he's doing. He knows where he needs to navigate with his voice. One more time, because I love it. I love the space. No, Ned. He's keeping that it quite open as well, because we can get much more of a chest connection up here. It is beautiful. Stunning. I love the arms.
I never knew of a love like I've known it with you. Will our memories survive one I can hold on to? I don't really need to look very much farther. I don't want to have to go where you don't follow. I won't hold it back again, this passion inside.
Right, before we get to this part, I love how I don't wanna, it was quite clear, open on the first part of the diphthong. I don't wanna have to look. Then the last one, I think it was that one, we get an I, kind of an I going straight into the diphthong on the E part of that I diphthong.
I don't wanna have to go where you don't follow. I won't hold it back again.
Just brightens it.
Passion inside can't run from myself. There's nowhere to hide. Your love I'll remember forever.
Oh, that throwaway. Right, these are all on an F, and he's lovely in his thick folds here, da 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 da, with these stabs. We've got to make sure, because it's like higher than where he'd normally talk, say this is the speaking range, we're here like just about to go into where we have to navigate our mix and whatnot, so we're up here. When we're stabbing on those da 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 da, we've got to make sure that everything is still supported, not going da da da, and then we have to think back here. So it's kind of like maintaining that support, which he does beautifully. What's helping him as well is all these arm movements, because he's just so supported.
From myself, there's nowhere to hide. Your love I remember forever.
Forever.
So don't make me close one more door. I don't wanna hurt anymore. Stay in my arms if you dare. I must
Yeah, I mean, look at the freedom in his voice. He's keeping it, the mouth, sorry, he's keeping it open. Really, really lovely just to get this nice big sound that he's after. And if you dare. And there's so much like breath after quite a few of the words. If you dare, must I? Like it's like it's like the each word has its own purpose, which is great because that's what we want. It's like, it's beautiful.
I don't wanna hurt
That's so smooth.
anymore. Stay in my arms if you dare. Or must I imagine you there? Don't walk away from me now. I have nothing.
I need to listen to this build up again because I just need to. Nothing. Right, here he's opening a bit more to a nothing, as opposed to before, nothing. If I don't, because he was coming back down. So maybe he felt like, my prep's fine. I feel comfortable with a bit more of a closed vowel. Nothing. Here, nothing. Opening up a little bit more. We know where this is going to go. So he's prepping already. Right, I like this space. Let me set this space up nice for myself.
Imagine you there. Don't walk away from me now. I have nothing. Don't make me close my door. I don't wanna hurt anymore. Stay in my arms. Or must I imagine you there? Don't.
Sir. Was it 3 counts? I mean, look at these arms. Joy, pure joy. Like, okay, look at this. This is the still shot that we need to talk about. His arms are up here, so he's like fully supported, anchored. We've got that support within his body. Great. His mouth is down. He's not reaching for this note. So it's just settled perfectly in his mixed voice. It's still a chest dominant sound. He's belting this out for the gods. It's like a call. It's so easy for him. But everything is working, right? He's not still because he's rigid. He's still because he's like supporting himself. And I just love this position. High tongue, drop jaw, eyes closed, feeling it. And just like straight. He's not reaching. It's wonderful. Chef's kiss.
Nothing.
We get a nice G. Nice cry. One more da. Notice again we're holding on to that R vowel. Everything is open for where he needs to be and where it needs to feel settled. And he returns back there. Yeah, I mean, I think it feels like it wants to stop just before, but I think it's there. It's just like to hold. What? There's too many things I'm thinking of about that, and that I can't focus on. I love that we get a delayed with a dum 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 coming down. So there is just his voice holding on. That bright ping there. There's so much twang helping him be supported as well. Let's just listen one more time. Straight on the vibrato. Oh, dare felt so differently. It's like he just settled on a little bit more, grabbed a little bit more of his chest connection. Back to a G.
Must I imagine you there? Don't walk away from me.
I love that. Don't walk.
No, don't walk away from me. Don't you dare walk away from me.
What's really nice is that don't you dare. That's beautiful. On that C, don't you dare. He's not including any like grit or like a roughness to this, like any growls or something, which some people might go. He's keeping this very like clear and it's just, it's so settled into the balance that he wants. Like, he's able to go anywhere with this, and I'm sure, I mean, it's a big song, a big sing, but he has found, like, you know, he could sing this again. I want you to sing it again, sir.
Don't walk away from me.
No, don't. On that beat, don't walk. Again, I'm going to repeat this open mouth. If we're going, no, don't walk, like trying to, no, don't walk. It's so core-like. That's why it's just so free. Me as well is lovely.
Don't walk away from me. Don't you dare walk
It sounds so
away
gospel-like
from
that.
me. 'Cause I have nothing.
Oh, before we get into the soft part, nice. It's a slight moment of soft there, but then he navigates and goes really lovely into a mix as he comes back down. Grasp hold of his chest voice. We get a lovely, it's like, again, it just gets a little bit of that breath escape as an offset.
Nothing. If I don't have you. Oh, my darling, you.
Nice. A little bit of a like a return back to the original with a no, with that glissando right at the end, and like, yeah, just returning everything back to this softer place, and that control, breath control in his voice as well, just everything. I love the hand motions as he's softening up. Where does he go on that note? It's just beautiful. There's a slight as he opens up to, welcomes his vibrato in and gets a little bit warmer. He also changes from an ooh vowel to an ooh, like opens ever so slightly. But so clear.
Oh, my darling.
I love, there's the rhythms.
Oh, my darling.
Smooth. And then last, yeah, really pretty. Really pretty. That was beautiful. That was so good. I'm so happy I finally got to react to David Phelps again. I have nothing. I mean, it's a big, well, you know, we hear that song, we're like, oh, here we go. It's a big one. But he had this in the bag, didn't he? Is that the saying? I have no idea. Thank you very much for watching this reaction and analysis video. If you did enjoy it, please go ahead and click that subscribe button, bell button, and the thumbs up button. And do comment down in the comment section below of where you'd like me to go next with David Phelps. And I will see you very soon for another video.